Hello everyone, this is the Digital Divas Diva Connection, Connecting Girls to Engage in STEM final presentation. My name is Dan and my team members are Yujing and Joel. To start things off, the Digital Divas Diva Connection is a social network designed to connect young middle school aged girls interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, with like-minded peers and mentors who assist with successful project completion. So our problem statement, or question rather, is can you design a system that uses social interaction design patterns to connect young girls as well as supports STEM learning? So our system adopts and recommends a mobile application for the ease of connection to other girls with similar interests as well as mentors to aid in the learning experience. Our approach focuses on creating a collaborative, more relatable environment, and our coursework is related to the interests of the girls in order to encourage collaboration amongst the girls as well as drive interest and success within an area of study. So to start out, we looked at a number of different competitors. First was the Socrative student and the Socrative teacher, which are both apps that support both the learning and teaching side of education. However, they do not focus nearly as much on the social aspect of learning, which we felt would be highly valued here. Another was Ping Pong, which is a mobile app that allows classmates to communicate and ask questions and share materials with each other. However, this tool lacks the educational functionality that we include in our tool. And lastly, Edu Creations is a screencasting and interactive whiteboard tool which is primarily used by both teachers and students to create presentations. However, an iPad is required in order to create these lessons and content, and it's not compatible with smartphones, which we feel is a requirement for our network. So moving into some of the features for our app, Diva Connections, the number one, or not number one, but the first connection is our connection to mentors. Users are able to connect to female mentors who are studying STEM majors in colleges. So teenage girls can video chat with mentors to receive information about STEM studies and as well as ask questions about the courses they are taking. Secondly, we have peer connections. So users connect to other middle school girls by searching their phone numbers and school names, and then the users can invite their peers to take part in a course, share their course completion status, as well as ask questions about the course. And last major feature is in addition to your traditional STEM courses, the ones that you're more affiliated with in your standard education system, we offer creative curriculums that teenage girls solve real-world problems. So creative courses are meant to draw engagement. And with that, let's jump into the actual prototype here. So here's our sign in, sign up screen. So the Digital Divas would sign up for an account and sign in using the app for the first time. Some required information would include name, school, perhaps a alphanumeric password, which would be given to the students by teachers in order to create the account. In this case, we chose not to allow sign up or sign in via Facebook or Google or any other means, rather, because we felt no other application should have access to these students' information. There were concerns with privacy as well as outside applications having access to the information stored within our app. Additionally, email was also elected not to be used since this age bracket typically does not use email to interact. So let's move on. Let's enter the app. And here we have our dashboard. So the Divas use their personal dashboard for a quick snapshot of their current project status updates and messages from their peers, as well as general updates from their circle of friends. Users can go directly to their creative curriculum courses, seen here, or they can quickly reply and comment to their peers' activities, seen here. So they also can use their dashboards to view their current courses, which is in this particular case we have the Math Fashion Designer, or they can like and comment feature offers and it offers them a way to engage with their peers and show support towards their friends and their friends' course's progress. So the particular girl or avatar that we're using in this scenario is Gabby. You can see her avatar represented here, and so we'll use her as we move through this application. But to start, let's start with our first major feature, which is connection with peers. So by clicking on this peers navigation icon here in the lower left corner, we get our buddy list. So the divas use their buddy list to view all of their connections, known as peers in this case. So they can see if their peers are available or offline with this smiley face. A grayed out face indicates offline. A green lit smiley face indicates online, as well as the option to be able to chat or leave messages, seen by these bubbles here on the right. So clicking on a peer avatar name will take that user into the Diva's profile. Let's look at Kayla. And we can see that here we have Kayla's profile, which is really a representation of each Diva's identity on the site. So the Divas can create and decorate their profile page to display and share personal information with other users. So this could include school, grade, details about their personal interests, and fun things that they're interested in. They can choose to upload personal pictures to their page if they'd like, or they can also choose and create an avatar that best represents their personality. So Kayla seems to like Superwoman. I think that's what that is. She's got bug eyes though. I'm not sure who it is. And again, these icons show her availability here. She can chat or she can even share Kayla's profile. As we'll get into later, if Kayla's favorite subject is math, maybe she's had a lot of success in math. Maybe Gabby knows that someone else needs help in math. They might be able to share Kayla's profile so that another peer or another diva can work with Kayla on math problems. So, in addition to that, once they've met Kayla, or once they've added or spoke with another peer, they can also add peers by clicking on the plus icon in the upper right corner. And from here you can see all the different available peers. We had mentioned earlier in the beginning that about being able to add via school or phone number, and they'd be able to simply enter that in. Say for example we wanted to add Una. We can get a brief introduction to Una. We can see that she's into creative writing. She's not on right now, but Gabby likes Una, wants to add her as a peer, so we'd click on the plus. We get a quick notification saying that Una received our request, and then typically after a while we would walk away, and then Gabby would receive this notification saying that Una has accepted her peer request and that now that we're connected. So we like this notification feature because it keeps girls of this age engaged, as well as keeps them involved with their progress of the course. So let's go back in to our app here and dig into more of the features that we can have with our peers. So say for example we wanted to start a conversation because collaboration with peers is a big element, big feature for this site. We wanted to talk to Arissa about a math project we had. So I would simply go to Arissa's profile, which I am here. I'd click on the chat button, and now Arissa and Gabby are able to talk about a particular math assignment. Right here they're having a discussion, but sometimes it seems that Gabby feels like they need to bring in Susie. So sometimes two people isn't enough. So in those cases, group conversations allow divas to talk with a larger size set of fellow divas and or mentors in some cases. So in that particular case, Gabby wants to bring in Susie, so we can simply come up here, click the add button, add Susie, and now Susie's back in the conversation and she can help us with our math problem. So as Gabby demonstrates here. So moving on to mentors. If we go to the mentor screen, again, always available in this navigation here right next to the peers. By taking a look at our mentors, we can see another design pattern here, which is availability. So the smiley faces indicate the availability of context, which we've gone over in regarding the peers. One thing that, just to mention a design pattern that we did not use was the rating system. So we did not include a rating system for mentors as we didn't think it was appropriate to give students the capability of rating another person. So we just didn't find that to be of value here. So in this particular case, if I'm acting as Gabby, I would be wanting to find a mentor. So I like Amy. I can see Amy's profile. I can see that she's interested in math. I know I need help with math. And she seems like a nice girl. So in that particular case, I would simply click the add button, and this demonstrates sort of an email that I would send to Amy. So saying, hi, who Gabby is, 7th grade student, please be my mentor. So Gabby's ready to start working on an actual project. We're going to have her work on a math project first. So she clicks on math, and she's given two paths. So there's the traditional path of your typical arithmetic situations of memorizing your times tables, etc. Or there's real-world applications, which is the ones we've built out here. And so your real-world applications allow the divas to practice the same skills except in a more realistic, practical environment. So here we are in our math section, and here we're going to talk about collaboration because it's a keystone element for the success of this group. So enabling the divas to work together on projects promotes success within the courses and additional accomplishments. So what we've implemented here is the ability to invite peers to work on a project with you. So simply from the opening project screen, you can click on the add a peer button or add a friend button. We've used it universally throughout the application, and that brings you to a set of peers to which you can invite. From there, once you're ready to go, or prior to that, sorry, the screen also gives you access to all the different materials that you might use, whether it be quizzes or tests or the actual project. So then once you're ready to go, you'd initiate by clicking, and then there would be a status casting. This would come to the mentor saying that Gabby just started her number 2 module in the math section. So going back to our mentor would then be able to say, hey Gabby, how's your math class going? Feel free to let me know if you're having any troubles. Again, another way for them to just constantly be aware of each other's status, how they're doing, and being able to check in with each other. So let's go back to our math course here. Say we've received that notification, and now we're going to proceed into the actual practice of the coursework itself. So here you can see we're working in another realistic scenario. We got a fashion designer. She's working on different cuts of fabric so that we can appropriately dress this mannequin. And we move through, we progress through the project, getting more and more difficult, and eventually we're ready to submit a final project, and we receive our final achievement. So congrats Gabby, you've just earned a new badge for completing Module 2 in Fashion Designer Math. So Digital Divas can earn rewards in the form of badges by completing courses and projects in the creative curriculum. So we feel this may encourage the girls to complete their courses and appeal to their competitive nature by trying to achieve what their friends have, or even go above and beyond their peers. So, and then again, another status casting, again, just keeping that engagement very high. So this would go out to both the feed and the mentor, saying that Gabby just finished module 2 in fashion designer math. So feel free to congratulate her. As we mentioned here, so that would go back in the feed. So I'm going to go back to my slides here and talked about some of the reasons, design patterns that we didn't use while I went through it, but some of the limitations are, just to summarize, the curriculum is a pretty good start, but it's really not fully realized. We definitely feel that future work would include further enhancements on this feature. Another limitation is concerning the exclusive use on mobile. So the courses would need to be catered to either exclusively mobile use, or the network would need to adapt to larger screens. So our recommendation would definitely be to move to a website that partners with this application. And we would have preferred to have committed to testing, but due to time constraints, this wasn't possible. So in our final reflections, we'll say that our primary goal was to keep our target user in mind. We tried to predict what interactions they would use and which ones that they would ignore. We also had to consider what a teenage girl should and should not be doing as it pertains to their privacy and child laws of the internet. So this was a challenge. But overall, we felt that designing a social network and design patterns proved to be somewhat of a shortcut. We understood our problem and our narrative for which our network would be used, and from there we filled in the pieces with the appropriate design patterns that would help us solve our problem. So with that concludes our presentation. Thank you, everybody, and good luck.